Alright, so in this video, what I'm going to do, show you guys how to use the clone stamp tool to replicate items so that you can enhance your composition. In this case, I have a picture of a sky, and what you'll notice is it's kind of barren. I need another cloud over here. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to come in, and I have my picture here on this layer. I'm going to go grab my clone stamp tool right here, which has the icon of a rubber stamp tool. This is why sometimes people call it the rubber stamp tool. I'll click here. This is a brush-based tool. And remember how you can dynamically change the size of your brush. If you look on the keyboard next to your P keys, you have the bracket keys. The left bracket key makes the brush smaller. The right bracket key makes the brush much bigger with every tap. So you can make it smaller with every tap of the left bracket and bigger with every tap of the right bracket. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the cloud right here, is I'm going to come in with this tool and I'm going to make a brand new layer in my layers panel. Here's my layers panel right here. I'm going to come in and I'm going to make a brand new layer. So I'll click on the layer that has the image thumbnail for the cloud image right here. And I'll come to the bottom and find the new layer button, which I'm on right here. I'm going to flicker it on and off for you guys. I click on it, so I have an empty layer. Now within the clone stamp tool right here, the next thing I'm going to do is go up to the control bar, make sure the airbrush button, which is right here, is pressed down. There we go. And then I'm going to make sure where it says sample, I make sure it's not on current layer, because the current layer has nothing on it. If you look at the layer thumbnail right here, it has nothing on it. It's the gray and white checkerboard, which indicates alpha transparency or nothing. I'm going to change the sample to current layer and below. That means not only will I be sampling from this layer, which I've selected, which is light gray, but I'll sample from this one and from that one. Okay, so now I have the rubber stamp tool on. This has been changed. The airbrush is on. Now I'm going to sample, so I'll hit the option button on a Mac, Alt, and a PC. Now sample, we'll start with the bottom of the cloud to make our life a little bit easier, and then we'll make the whole thing. I'll sample right here. And now you can see inside my brush, I'm able to bring a little bit of the cloud over. You see it inside of it. It looks like a cotton ball. So now I'm going to come in, and you can tell right here, look at where my brush is, which is on the left side of the screen. And look at the little crosshair in the cloud from which I'm sampling. You can see how I can just kind of draw around this guy. And I can come up a little bit like that. Just like this. I'm just left looking and dragging. And boom, there's my cloud. This guy looks really nice. So now I want to make sure that nobody's the wiser about where this new cloud originated from. So I'm on this layer right here. This is layer 2. We need to flip them. So I'll come up to the edit menu and I'll go to transform and I'll go to flip horizontal. Okay? But now I don't like the axis that he has right here. So we need to rotate him. So still while on that layer, and you know when a layer is active because it's highlighted in light gray, I can go to edit, I can go to transform, and I can go to rotate. Now you get a bounding box around the new cloud. I'll come over to his corner right here and go out lateral a little bit. So here's the corner, I'll go out a little bit. My cursor will change into a curved double-sided arrow. And now I'm just going to rotate him just like this. So there we go. Now once you do the rotation, because you're inside of a transformation, in this case rotation, you need to look up in your control bar right here when my mouse is oscillating. You have two buttons. The cancel button, which is this one right here, circle with the slash through it, hotkeys escape. And the commit button, which is right here, and you hit return, or you can click on that. I don't want to cancel what I've done. It looks good, so I'll click on the check mark to commit to it. And there we go. I have one more thing to address. These hard edges around the new cloud. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go get my eyedropper tool, which is located right here in the toolbar. If you can't find it, click on the I key on the keyboard. So there we go. Here's the I key. And I'm going to sample a little bit of a color from the sky around here. So I'll get a little bit of this blue right there. There we go. Now I'll go back to my paintbrush tool. We haven't used that yet, but the paintbrush tool is located right here. If you can't find it, hit the B key on your keyboard. So hit B. There we go. And you can use the same resizing keys that you did with the clone stamp tool. So I'll hit the left bracket right there. And then these are the settings I want to run with for my paintbrush after sampling that color. 50% opacity, which means it won't be totally opaque, and 35% for my flow, which means it won't be too wet. And then I'll press down this button right here, which is my airbrush button. So that's pressed down. So those are the settings up top. And now I'm just going to paint away a little bit of those hard edges. I just have to kind of take my time. So there we go. No hard edges anywhere else. And then I'll paint away a little bit of this dark blue around the cloud because that will look unnatural for the cloud to be right under the sun. You know, because it wouldn't be dark there. There's light there. So I'll come in and paint a little bit of that away. Just take my time just like this. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Then the last thing I'm going to do is increase my brush size just a little bit. Right bracket. And I'm going to paint out here coming from the rays of the sun. And the reason why is because I don't want the viewer to realize that this cloud doesn't belong here. So I paint out a little bit like that, coming out, just like that. There we go. And let's grab a little bit of that. And then there you go. And then that becomes the integration of a brand new cloud, and no one's the wiser as to why the cloud is there and it doesn't look like it doesn't belong. And so that is how you can come in and use the clone stamp tool and the paintbrush tool to integrate a new element inside of your comp.